Okay, so I'm back with Sun in Aquarius and Mars in Pisces. Okay, so with this placement, I'm telling you, there's not anything that you cannot dream of and have happen. The question is, do you want to dream of something and have it happen? You literally could have all these thoughts and ideas and creativeness, uniqueness, inventiveness, and then you don't act on it. Like when it comes, and you could want to, but it could either show up as you don't really know what direction to go in. You can't really get anything concrete down. It may help if you like had a little bit of assistance. Um, which was what I see a lot of times with the Mars and Pisces placement, especially like with the air sign. This is the thing. See, a lot of you guys won't even allow some of your thoughts to be expressed or things that you want to bring about, things of that nature, because you could feel like people may be judgmental of it or unaccepting of it, and it's almost like, well, why go through all of that? Why go through that hassle when I just don't have to deal with it at all? It could just be more of, not, you may not have the desire to put anything to use. You could literally be like, well, maybe somebody else will come up with it. But with this placement, you could be highly spiritual as well. And I mean, really into the art of just being, um, living with other people, not really wanting to have bills, not really wanting to have anything just 100%, because you just like to be able to experience different things, especially like be free to move and go into the directions that you feel. It's just like the other two air signs with displacement. It really becomes with the air sign sun and a Mars and Pisces, it really becomes more about the experience and then versus actually having to manifest something, you know, um, and encouraging and supporting others on their goals and their aspirations. But if you really want to get something done, you really want to manifest something, that's your goal. But it's just hard to work through because whether you change the way you feel about it or whether it's hard to stay the course, you really gotta get a couple things going, because this is what I see that works best with Pisces, the Mars and Pisces. A couple things that you're interested in, you know. That way, when you're feeling one way, and just make it two things at first, don't make it a whole lot of things. When you're feeling one way, you go in that direction and you're working towards something, but it's still beneficial to you. When you're feeling another way, you go in that direction and you're working towards something, the other thing that's beneficial to you. In that way, when all is said and done, you're actually getting things done. You get what I'm saying? It may take longer if you drift back and forth too much. That's why I say leave it to two things, because you'll go back and forth within those two things. Um, this is the thing. What's so crazy is because you could be stubborn and fixed a lot of times with the way you think and the way you do things, but it can bug the crap out of you when you deal with somebody else that acts that way, that are unsure about the way they feel, that like you could have had, let's say that you're one of the Aquarians that ends up being involved with someone like this. You could have had situations set up to where you wanted to work with somebody. You wanted to create something. You wanted to support them, whatever the case may be, but they don't make up their mind. They don't see where they want to be, or they're saying they want to do something 1 minute and then something the next minute. And they have like that pity party, that victim mentality when it comes to a lot of things. And you guys could have this too with displacement. You could have this, or you could deal with people that's this way. Be careful of the victim mentality. The victim mentality tells us all the reasons why we can't do something, why we won't do something, based on things that happened from the past. Well, I never had the support. It's the story that we tell ourselves, whether the story is real or not. It's important to get to that point to where that same story line is not affecting us to the point of where we're limiting ourselves. It is all about the way we feel. It could be something that you're pursuing, could have literally, you could have been told when you were smaller, or just told, period, oh, that'll never work. You can never do this, you can never do that. Or feel like you can't because of something in the past. Whatever, something now. And the reason why I say this is because the story that is told or given to us, or that we tell ourselves, is what makes it hard for us to push past those limitations. And literally the very thing that you work on or do could be the source of emotions for you that comes up that you're not really trying to touch, or you're really not trying to be involved in. It's better for you to be disconnected from that, to do what you, or pursue what you want, and that you really want to go after your top dreams and hopes and wishes and all that good stuff. The associations that you have to get involved with could be painful. You got to realize with this, it's important to practice true forgiveness, and then just see it for what it is. Like, no, this is coming up. It's something that I really have to face, and I'm going to face it. Because remember, whenever we're going after what we want and we desire, there's always some sort of pain associated with it. Because most of the times, when it's hard for us, it means something deeper. You know what I'm saying? And that very thing that's hard for us, it becomes like a painful, what we want to work on, what we want to aspire to be, what we're trying to work through. If that very thing that stops us is that pain that we got to work through, and it doesn't just go away, so it does involve connection, and it could be hard for you to feel out where you really want to be, and you could feel like you don't really have a place. You don't really want to have a place in this world. You're not really connected to this world. You're about many different things and many different experiences, and that's okay. It's about what you want. But if you do want to establish something, and you do want to acquire something that you manifest, that you bring into life, that you're proud of, that you want to see exist, you got to be willing to work through those emotions that stop you, that keep you going back and forth some of the times, most of the times. The thing about it is, for you to be, you're not really about your feelings, but a lot of things you do are about your feelings. How you pursue things is about the way you feel. And that could be confusing to you as well as others at times, and yeah, you go back and forth with those feelings. You could be sensitive in your approach. So it's not like you're trying to just go and maul people over. It's more about the fact that you want to be supportive of other people, and you would like that in return. You would, whether you say it all the time or not. And so the emotional aspect that you disconnect from so much, you want to be a part of at the same time. And it really has a lot to do with your progression. You're sensitive about the way you pursue things, about your approach. Like, if you offer an extended hand to somebody and they reject it or they turn it down, it can hurt your feelings. It can hurt you on a level of rejection to where it seems like some kind of way it matched some sort of situation you've been through before. I'm not saying that you're afraid to face it. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that those are the type of feelings that comes up. But you could be into spiritual more than anything. So you might value spiritualism over materialism. And it could just be a personal choice of yours. Or you end up getting involved with, or you're attracted to the people that are like this, almost as if they don't, it's kind of hard for them to find their way, but they like to experience what that is and how they find their way. And your approach could be subtle. So you can have conversation with people. You could be attracted to someone, having conversations with them and all that, but never really saying that you like them. But, with your subtle gestures, it's like, okay, hint, 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 But at the same time, you could be dramatic with it too. You can tell them, or you can display it by buying, not right necessarily buying them gifts, but by doing things for them. Aquarians, and supporting them, likes doing things for other people and supporting them, So I mean, you could easily be a person that starts some type of little group, cult, anything, and especially spiritual ones. This could be how some of you guys make your money, because in like a minister or something like that, or your association with another group, like a church, things of that nature, getting other people on board, they pay their dues, or whatever, housing people, like coming up with some idea that houses people, the impoverished, working with other communities and organizations that do. I feel like you will enjoy, but at the same time, you have a way about yourself to where when you do come up with something, you want it to benefit others as well, you know. So a lot of times you can be about supporting other people, and like a lot of times people can take advantage of the support that you give, and you got to be willing to lay boundaries down from time to time. You know, you can be kind of shy with your approach, to where sometimes you kind of want to draw away and not really express yourself. You may talk about so many things, but never really about what you do on a personal level. So you have a whole spiritual life or personal life behind the scenes that only a few get to see and experience from you. Okay, so this has been Sun in Aquarius, Mars, and Pisces. I'm Butterfly for Light. Peace.